Hey peeps, Donna here. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my studio, and you know what? Welcome to this little tutorial. Now, my goal, one of my big goals, is to get people who might not know much about polymer clay interested in knowing more and interested in playing with clay. So this is a very simple project, very simple. You're not going to need any specialized equipment. You're just going to need clay. You're going to need, this is even optional, but I really like texturing like clay, you see. And what this is dual plex refrigerator liner. Yeah, it's great stuff. You can also put it in your fridgie. You're going to need some round cutters. Ta-ta. And blade helps, and earring wires, and really basically that's it. Liquid clay, yeah, you're going to want some liquid clay, but you're not going to need super difficult stuff to find. So I hope you enjoy the class. Let's make some very colorful, very easy earrings. All right, peeps. So for these very simple earrings, you're not going to need a ton of clay. You're not going to need any specialized tools, nothing like that. So you're going to need a tile. You're going to need some black clay. You're going to need a selection of other colors and, of course, a blade and some cutters. All right, so let's begin. Now, I have rolled my clay through setting number 3 on my pasta machine, and I've just pressed it lightly to my tile. Now let's make a nice straight cut. Now, what I would like to do, I don't want to make these too terribly huge, although I'm going to make some pretty big earrings. So let's just try to make them a little bit shorter, perhaps just 2 inches long. Okay, the ruler is 2 inches wide, so I know that's 2 inches. As I'm looking at it, it looks a little short to me, so I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer. That is not a blade. That is a ruler. All right, so how much longer should it be? Perhaps maybe that long. Like so. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a straight cut. So I'll have one earring on this side and one earring on that. Now I think the width I would like is, let's just say 3/8 of an inch. That's that. 1, 2, 3, 3/8 of an inch. And now I'm going to take my ruler and just align that 3/8 of an inch with the bottom like so. So I'm making a long tapering piece of clay. Okay, so let's do the same thing on this side. Da, da, da. Like so. Let's remove the center, and these will be my earrings. All right, so I started out with a piece that was quite a bit wider, didn't I? But this is perfect because I'm going to be putting pieces on both sides. So now I have enough open space in the middle to do just that. All right, so let's begin at the bottom. But I'm gonna cut. Let me take this large one and start here. Let's just cut that. All right, now this clay, all of these pieces have also been rolled through setting number 3 on my pasta machine. So they are exactly the same thickness as the black clay. Let me say one more thing. If you notice, can you tell? I'm gonna hold this one up. There's texture. And that texture is the dual-plex. These dual-plex refrigerator liner sheets. And all I do is roll this clay through setting number 3, then place the clay on this sheet, re-roll it through the machine through the very same setting, pull it out, and it's automatically textured. Okay. Then, of course, I coat it with a Kato. All right, best of my ability, I'm going to cut this one in half. Like so, and let us just lift and just press this against that spear. Now I'm going to try to position it in exactly the same place on the other piece. You want to make sure that they are snug. There's no space between them. All right, so let us select another color, make another cut. Let's see, maybe I'll pick a smaller one, and I think I'll go orange. We'll try to cut this one in half as well. Might be just a bit off, but it's okay. All right, that one will go right there. This one. I'm gonna snug this one up, I think. Come on. The little guy wants to stick to me more. And I would say that looks pretty good. All right, so let's pick the green next. Now this time, I am going to cut 2 greens. Like so. All right, now let's position these. Just gonna place them on this tile, like so, side by side. And I'm going to cut at the same place through both pieces. Let's take this guy, maybe position it right there. Okay, how far are you up? Let me take a look. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, once again, you want to make sure that there's no space between the black and these colored pieces. You're pressing to that black spear. All right, so I'm going to continue in just the same way with a few more colors, and then I'll be back. All right, so this is what I've done. I just put some yellow here, violet or lavender here. Yeah, they're simple, but they're pretty cheerful, I think. Now, I'm gonna take these. You see these? These are oval jump rings. And I'm just going to lift the end. I'm going to take and slide one of the jump rings here. So I'm trying to cover up the opening of the jump ring. My tool is slightly magnetized. I have to find a tool that's not. Yeah, this needle is not really magnetized. Come on. I need help. Help me. All right. That kind of helped me out a bit. I just want some of it sticking up. It doesn't, not a lot, not necessary. Like so. Now let us do the same thing on the other side. Everything's magnetized. It really doesn't take much to magnetize all your tools. You can trust me on that. Come on. Okay, I would say that's pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dual-plex refrigerator liner, and I'm just going to press that black clay down over that ring. Yeah, I'm trying anyway. Like so. Now let me do the same thing on this side. I'm pushing with my finger, I can feel it. But that's pretty good. Now, lightly, I'm going to go over the whole thing. And what I'm really trying to do primarily here is make sure that the colored half circles are really snug up against that black tapering piece. Okay, this should help me out. I would really like it if they didn't come apart later when I'm putting the back on. And I think this should help me out. All right, now I am going to put this in the oven. And you're going to put yours in your oven following your manufacturer's instructions. I do not know what clay you're using, so just follow those instructions. Huh. You know, as I'm looking at this, I wonder what it would look like if I cut a hole. What would that look like? Interesting. Will I be sad I did it? Possibly. I think I'll just leave these. I'm going to leave this as it is. Maybe I'll try that another time. Anyway, this is going in the oven. Okay, peeps. So these are cured. And now what you have to do is very carefully lift these off the tile. So you're going to take your blade. Let me use a sharper, thinner blade. Okay, here we go. And I'm pressing the cutting edge to the tile, and now I'm just going to try to lift it without separating any of the pieces, right? There's one. Do it again. And it's off. All right. Now, I cured these they got a full cure. That's what I'm trying to say. And the reason is because I want these little pieces that are only, you know, that's a very thin The sheets are thin, so the area of contact is also very thin. So you have to be kind of careful. It's very easy for these just to pop off. All right, I have rolled my black clay through the same setting, which is setting number 3. I rolled it through the pasta machine again with my designated black clay refrigerator liner, dual plex. Put this textured textured sides. It's a little early for me, and I get up early, but now I'm going to take my liquid clay. I really have to clean this out. And I'm going to take one of these guys and coat the whole back. Maybe I should wait until I have another cup of coffee. The whole back with liquid clay. Okay. So just handle this piece carefully, gingerly, not roughly. Use a gentle touch. Like so. Now I want you to pay extra attention to this area around the jump ring. Try to fill that up with liquid clay, like so. So it's really in there, and we don't want that to come out. Turn it over. Place it on the sheet, and now you will cut around it. And you can use a scalpel or even something like this, which is an acupuncture needle, one of the thicker ones, not the really skinny ones. They come in many different thicknesses or gauges. So this is one of the thicker ones. I just put a wad of clay around it so I get a better grip. All right, so let's do it. Like so. And because the piece is cured, it is quite a bit easier to cut around. Now I've done this both ways. In other words, there have been times when I will take this sheet and then construct the whole piece on a sheet like this, and then put all of these pieces on, and then after that's done, carefully cut around. Now that's absolutely possible to do. And, you know, this one, that's the way I did this particular pair. But I think that the extra curing and just being a little more careful might be worth it, because at this point in time, it is much easier to trim around. Just depends on what you're comfortable with. All right, here we go. Okay, so after curing, I will straighten out that edge. Now, the second one, I'm gonna make a slight improvement. And that slight improvement is just cutting a straight edge first. Don't quite need all of this. All right, like so. Now let's take the second piece, apply our liquid clay again. Like so. So quiet this morning, except for my phone dinging and my dog barking outside. I'm gonna have to go retrieve that boy. All right, so I've got a nice healthy coat. Now let's do this. And let's just line that top up with that cut straight edge. Okay. I forgot to do that with this guy. You know, I think I'm going to use my blade so that the clay doesn't just get pulled off the end. All right. There we go. Oopsie, more clay on the floor. Now, when you're making these, you know, I told you what thickness the black sheet is, setting number 3. I think that that's fine. It's quite easy for me to accurately cut using this. But you know, if you make the backing too thick, it gets difficult to make a good clean cut. So I would say setting 3, setting 4. You know, this also depends on how strong your clay is. I'm using Kato, so it's very strong. I could make it thinner than that, but I think that's a good setting. I don't want to make it too thin because, remember, I've got that little guy and I wanted to embed the oval jump ring into the clay. So, of course, if the clay's too thin, then you start creating problems for yourself. So use a good medium thickness of clay, like 3 or 4. All right, now these will go in the oven. Of course, you want to clean up the edges. Anything you see can just be eliminated at this point. Pay attention to these little corners as well. All right, that looks good. So this is going back in the oven. I'll be back. So these are out of the oven. They're still just a little bit warm, but they're done. Now, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to eliminate these tips. Don't know that they're doing much of anything, so I'm just going to cut them off. Like so. And this one is much more pointed than this one, so let me see if I can match it up by just doing a bit of cutting myself. How's that? I think that helped a bit. All right, so you're going to want to inspect the edge of your earrings. Now, I don't think these really require a lot of sanding or anything. It looks pretty good to me. But if you're in a situation and you look and you think, oh, that looks a little sloppy, then what you're going to want to do, let me grab one, is sand the edge. Now, this is a sanding stick I got in Germany. I don't know if you can get them here, but basically it's just a half round piece of wood that they've wrapped sandpaper around. So you can probably even make this. All right, so you're just going to take something like this and just clean up the edge. Okay. As I said, I don't really think it's necessary for these, so I'm not going to. I just wanted to show you. Now, I'm going to take my earring ear wires, and what these are, stainless steel. Just thread it through, pull it up, and take your pliers and close it. Like so. And look, you've made earrings, and they were simple, right? Very, very simple. But I think they're a lot of fun. Ta-ta! Okay, so we're at the end of class. I want to thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. And if you like them too, please. Thank you very much. Now, you guys know, you know, these are so simple to make, and I think they're pretty adorable. Of course, you know that your color options are pretty much limitless with something like this. And what I would say, though, is if you're new to clay, then you might not be aware that those packaged colors are frequently translucent. In other words, you can sort of see through them. When they cure, the color may change, might get darker. So all these colors that you see are colors that I mixed, but they have one thing in common. All of them have some white in the clay. So my recommendation to you would be, even as a newbie, beginner, that you take that packaged clay and you add just a little bit of white to it. And you'll find that the colors pop out a little bit more. Okay, so that's it. Once again, thanks so much. Hope you come back, and I hope you have a great day. I am Donna Kato, signing off. Bye.